Hello everybody, welcome to Introduction to Key Stage 1 Geography. Okay, so one of the first things that we encourage children to do is actually to draw their own maps. Now this might be a map of their home and local area, this might be of their school grounds, or particularly links nicely with story writing, so a place that they'd like to write about or a fantasy world. So we get them to encourage, first of all, to use directional positional vocabulary to describe where objects are located. So the volcano is above the house. The shark lake is to the left of the house. The cave is below the forest. So lots of words such as left, right, up, down, above, below, next to, and in between. So the shark-filled lake is in between the cave and the house. Their next step in map making skills is to use a key. So a key that you would then find, for example, in a map on here. So explaining what each image actually represents. So again, the same thing on their home drawn map. So here, my house represents my home. The round wobbly represents the lake. The trees represent the forest. And the mountain, with the bit spurting out the top, represents a volcano. So we then start describing by giving directional language as if we were going on a journey. So for example, I might start my journey here and go on this route. So first of all, I might describe it that I'm going up to the forest, I'm going down and right to the lake, and then I'm going right onto the house. We then start to introduce compass points. So we have north, east, south, and west. Lots of different acronyms, remembering this, so never eat shredded wheat, naughty elephant squirt water. I'm sure you can come up with lots of your own. So we then get to use the children to describe locations of objects compared to each other using the compass points. So the forest is north of the cave. The lake is to the east of the cave. The house is to the south of the volcano. And then you can actually start to introduce an 8-point compass, so northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest to add increasing challenge to it. So children also, when we're looking at actual maps, need to understand what human and physical features are. So when we're talking about it, human features will include things like houses, homes, cities, ports. So some examples are here. So these are all things that are man-made constructions. So this might then also be cathedrals, roads, buildings. See some examples there. So they need to be able to describe and identify these human features, whether they're used on a key or from aerial maps and photographs such as this. We also then have physical features. These are the natural features. So here's some here. So this is then representing things like fields, rivers, cliffs, forests, different types of land use, fields, etc. Okay, so when we're then looking at maps, one of the simplest things and comparing different types of landscapes to each other is looking at perhaps an example of their home, their house, their local area, and compare it to somewhere else. So maybe if you live in a village, comparing it to a big city like London. You might then look at actually comparing a city like London or your own village and compare that to a non-European country. So perhaps somewhere, another similar town or city in Asia, in the Americas, or in Africa. And try and describe those differences. And that might be differences in physical and human features. That might be differences in temperature, weather, climate zones, type of land use. Okay? Hope you enjoyed your introduction to geography.